Y'all can hear me and it's not like too loud or something. Let me see. Let's see. Before I get in here and start speaking. Too loud or something. Let me see. Let's see. Before I get in here and start speaking. Yeah, from what I can hear, it sounds clear. Yeah. So, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, Hashem Kakadash. Yahawah is the Most High God, and Yahawashi is who the world really calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakodash is the Holy Spirit, the Pillar of Hebrew. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, but one that they continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyum, that are believers in his faith and his truth. Lord willing, that they can continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. The Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. As you can see, the title says Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Don't care if you smart or you look good, but do you believe and understand, right? Lord willing, this is just straight to the point. Lord willing, I'm not like too long-winded, but it's a few things that's on my dang mind. Having a conversation with Brother Yarmayan at work, and just as a testimony, and I know it's other people that probably go through certain things too. Sometimes you want to do a video and sound good all the way from the beginning to end, and then like it's times where brothers do videos and they might mess up, with quoting a precept or saying a word, and we delete the whole video and then do it over, because it's not good to our standard. Or sometimes, say if I'm doing a lesson and I got 20 precepts already, ready to go, and then I might say something, I'm thinking of a precept, and I can't think of the book and chapter, and I can go search what it's saying, such and such and such, and I can find it. To me, I'd be like, I don't be wanting to do that, because then I'm thinking about somebody might look at me or see the video. Oh, this man don't even know. Oh, now he ain't edifying because he got to go look it up, And this is like even when I first got into this, this thing, this truth, I believe between 6 to 8 years I've been here, and the Lord just been allowing me to grow, overcoming myself, overcoming anger. If a video don't upload, get angry because the video don't upload and something happens, or how people act a certain way, my temper, coming in this truth. The Lord is looking for you to believe and understand. It's good to be all stern, right? But then we try to get too overly righteous, right? I want to be, what's that thing called? I forgot the word, but you want everything perfect, and I can't make everything perfect. Sometimes I'm gonna try to say a word and I might say I might say him, I might say man, I might say you see all the time, and then rewatch my video. I'll be like, dang, I keep saying C. It's about edifying the sheep, you know. And that's just amazing that I just said that, because I come across two verses, just doing my little reading before I lay my butt down. But I'm gonna bring out these other few that's in my head. The first one is Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter. This is my little motivation, for the past few months, trying to get better in my craft when it comes to teaching the words of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, because it's not really us. is really about Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. So this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 21, in the KJV, and I'll read the NLT, it says, "For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb. It made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent." In the GNT, it says, "Wisdom gave speech to those who cannot speak. She even caused babies to speak clearly." You know, it's really the wisdom of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, Wisdom of Solomon 9:6, you know, that makes us speak the way that we speak, right? When you really speak eloquent when it comes to the scriptures, is the Rakakwadash. You know, none of us can do this of our own. You know, before I used to mess up when I was saying the name of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. I have, man, my brothers, we laugh at the old videos. I was butchering his name, you know, and of course, sometimes that could be intimidating, right? When I see other brothers that can remember 15 precepts. Hey, brother, go here, go here. And there's times where I couldn't remember nothing. I started feeling intimidated for myself. Like, man, I ain't a true believer if I can't do that. Just because the brother can remember precepts. You know, it's not about being the smartest. Even if I am smart or educated, and, you know, some things you just don't get right away. Can't beat yourself down. You know, it's times, you know, in this walk, I'm like, man, I ain't doing no video. You know, because I can see errors in myself. At the end of the day, the Lord called us to do this thing. You know, the basic lesson, you know, the milk lessons, right? The gospel, the parables, the dark sayings, and the prophecies. You know, we can't hold ourselves to the standard of, do I look good? It's times, I'm just being honest, it's times for myself, I wanted to look good when I was getting on the camera, you know. I had my chain on, my jewels, even though sometimes I wasn't even thinking about if somebody see it. It's not about, hey, look at my chain, look at my, like, not this, but a gold chain or a silver chain, look at my bling bling. I was just putting it on just for my look, you know, and I'm just calling it out that, you know, this thing is not about the antics like the elder apostles and the elders always say. You know, this is about teaching the word. This is not about us, you know. Even more, I'm gonna get this precept I've been bringing out fluently. Sirach chapter 24, verse 32, it says, "And I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom." Right? And through the Rakakwadash, Yahawashi left this Rakakwadash so that when he raised up his apostles, his prophets, his teachers over again, they're going to be moved, and their job is going to edify the sheep. This is not about us. It's not about you. This is about Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. And when you come in this faith, yes, it is about the nation of Israel. But really, it's about Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Because when you do the law, who gave you this law? Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. When you hearing about the gospel, when you hearing about the kingdom, right? Whose is it? Who gave it? Who's going to give it? Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Who's coming to save you? Hamashiach Yahawashi. By the power of Yahweh. You know, who do the angels do the work that they have to do? Under Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Everything consists of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. You know? And at the end of the day, the Lord made you how he made you. The Lord made you speak the way he made you. The Lord made your height the way he made you, right? And sometimes I have my own little thought like, man, I'm going to have a dream that I'm 6'2" in this time instead of in the kingdom. You know, we have to be happy how the Lord made us, right? Because then you start getting the plague of the mind. You're like, oh, I don't look good enough. Oh, I can't remember precepts. Oh, the Lord not dealing with me. And those little things can plague your mind. And this happens to women too. You know, women, this is not for you to master scriptures. The best thing is for you to yield and just listen so you can grow in faith. You know, especially if you can relate. You're like, you know what? Nah, what he's saying is what that teacher right there is saying on point, you know? And yeah, you might have your own discussions with sisters, but you really ask your questions towards your husband. But for the men, this is for you to master so that you can lead your house, so you can lead yourself. And if it comes that the Lord raised you up, that you're going to teach the sheep, because it's different for men and it's different for women, right? The best thing a woman is going to do is build herself in this wisdom to be a great wife, a sister, and a mother. A woman, you want to look good for your husband. You want to smell good for your husband, right? But when it comes to the world, you're not out here to look good for another man or another woman, but you want to be the reflection of your husband, right? Hey, your husband look good. You want to look good when you want to go outside properly, you know. But it consists on how Yahawah Yahawashi ordered the household, right? Let's get another one. Sirach 33, verse 17. It says, "Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning," right? When you go into the Romans 12, when you lay, as a man, you lay yourself down like a living sacrifice. For you women, just putting it in the order, you lay yourself down as a mother for them children. Yes, you lay yourself down by being a high tower, for your husband, but you're not laying yourself down the same way as a man. Never, never have, and never will, right? But at the end of the day, you should get your motivation because the Lord chose you for that particular man, you know? And every time when we thinking about our looks or how we speak, it interferes with our judgment in our mind. That's why I said, if you go on to YouTube, when I share it as a post, I said, Yahawah Shema Shai don't care for none of that. And, just because I just said that, let's go into the history, when the Lord had Samuel get a king. This is 1 Samuel 16, verse 1. The point is around verse 7, but, I'll give you from the content, right? Context. Salaki, I said content. Chapter 16, 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Samuel, How long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thy horn with oil and go, and I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons." And Samuel said, "How can I go if Saul hear it? He will kill me." And Yahweh said, "Take an heifer with thee, and say, I am come to sacrifice to Yahweh. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do." Wait, I want to say a sidebar. You see how Samuel was thinking about Saul, if he find out he gonna kill me, and the Lord said, "Man, go take an ass, basically a sacrifice, and go take that and you sacrifice it for me." That I just brought that out just to show you the Lord always have a plan for you. While you over here thinking that and thinking that, the Lord has a plan. That's why this is a correction for anybody, me, you, your mama. If you thinking that this thing is about look when it comes to the truth, when you think this is about how smart you are, no, this is about how much you believe, how much you understand, right? Because you shouldn't be teaching something you don't understand. But if you believe it, okay, you believe, but you don't understand it, then that means you don't have the capacity or the capability of teaching it, man or woman. you know this is why the Lord didn't put that authority in you women to teach, right? Because you're not going to be capable of diving in line and precepts. Oh, I don't get it because you wasn't made. But get to be a wife, get to be a mother, right? Get to be a listener. That's the best thing a woman can do. Even us men, we got to take the traits of listener. Because if you come in to teach your household or teach the nation, the church of Yahawah Shema Shai, you have to learn to listen. This thing just didn't just get set on my lap. I was able to read, but I needed understanding, right? And I'm gonna get something to elaborate, to line up with knowing that when you come in this thing, you want to learn under men that's moved by the divine inspiration of Yahawah Shai, right? So verse 4 it says, "And Samuel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably I come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass." Oh, and another thing, you see how fearful they was seeing a prophet? Go outside, go look at what's going on. People are not afraid of the prophets right now. right? Because the Lord right now is trying to raise up the believers first. And then when shit really hit the fan, people are going to look at the men of the Lord, the true men of the Lord, even you ones that's probably slipping and turning. Eventually, the Lord is going to have mercy on you, and then you're going to really understand who was, those teachers, right? Even before you, right? And they're gonna be like those foreign cars that you see on, gold digger pranks. Soon as you turn on the car, they want to turn their head. The men of the Lord, the true men of the, not just any man, not a man. Oh, I'm a husband. It starts with the elders, the apostles, the prophets, the ones that the Lord set up as teachers, right? Which we can get those just to back that up, you know. And they were fearful because a prophet, a stern man for the Lord. Verse 6, and it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Elib and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before me. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart. Every day you have to even look at yourself in the heart. When it comes to teachers, you have to look in the heart. The heart is not this thing beating. That's just blood pumping. You looking at the heart and the mind, how somebody talk, how somebody move, right? Even a man, when he gets a household, right, wife or just children, a man is always supposed to observe his flock. A man's first flock outside of that, this ministry, this walk, is his household. His household. So he has to be watching people in his household different than they watching everybody else in the house, right? Because he has to see if they're believing. He has to see if the woman is in order, if the kids is in order, right? And still, that's where lessons come. That's how you get your intimate relationship with your children, with your wife, so that they can understand, like, yo, we're not like them. Kendrick Lamar said it best. We're not like them. But we have to show it in action by believing and being able to understand so that we can teach the younger ones, right? Let alone older folks, people of your age, people that's not in your house, you know? And it's not on the outward appearance. This is why your looks don't freaking matter, you know? You can look fine, dine. Sometimes I try to tell myself I look like Denzel Washington. Not Denzel Washington that just got baptized, just Denzel Washington, just in general. Or I look like Wesley Snipes, you know what I'm saying? Or I look like Tyrese or the brother from the woods. But it's not about, that's just being funny. It's not about your looks or how smart you is. If you smart, kumbaya. A lot of us is too busy boasting when other people got problems on their looks. And you're like, man, I look good, and this person's super insecure. You know how low self-esteem they gonna feel, and they look at you like, man, you do look good. It's about Yahawah Shai. That's why we gotta push more on boasting Yahawah Shai. In your household, you look good, man. You look good, man. I be trying to look good, but when it really comes to being an example, when you go into Acts 53, Yahushua didn't have the appearance of looking beautiful, right? Because he was looking like a regular nigga from the hood. He wasn't having the best garment. He wasn't chained out. He wasn't coming with the glory. He wasn't coming like that. He came low and meek, you know? So this is Jeremiah chapter 10, just showing another one that the Lord cares for the end. That's why it says in Romans to be a Jew inwardly, not outwardly, because it's really about the inward part. Your spirit is in the inward. When the angels is working in the spirit, you don't even see it. And inwardly, things is being done, right? So this is Romans, Salaki, I said 10. Romans 17 and 10. It says, I, Yahweh, search the heart, I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, right? It's about your actions that you're doing, and the Lord is looking in your heart. That's how you're going to grow in this ministry. It's not about how smart I know algebra, I know chemistry, but when you start moving and getting into history, I hated history. I failed history in school. But if I had applied myself, I probably would have had better grades. I wasn't applying myself. I was in a racist white school. But now that I'm going to these scriptures, which is history, I feel like I'm better than what I was when I was in school. You know, I feel like I am smarter than my teacher when it's coming to what we get to learn that is true. But this is not about me to hang over somebody's head. This is not about for me to hang it over me. Soon as I do, there's times where I did a live. And if I felt nobody will watch my video, or even if I post a video and for a whole week ain't nobody watching, I'd be like, man, maybe the Lord didn't send me. Yes, it would be a little feeling because we're in the flesh. But you know what that comes from? You watching other people and they boast on the views. Look at how many, man, I got 50 people. I got 15 people watching. And then you be start thinking like, you know what? But I would compare me and the truth and then compare me doing videos. I can make videos in the world and go viral. Funny videos, hilarious videos, change my voice. Mad people view me. But then when you come to the truth, you can't bring the shit in the world in this ministry because it's of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. You have to be sincere. You have to be sincere for this because the Lord is not just going to allow his sheep that Lord willing is the elect are going to watch you. Let alone the Lord will send wolves your way just to watch you and then scoff. Oh, brother, I don't agree. You believe in Shabba Dabba Ding Dong. The Lord is going to send people just to see how you act. You know, this is not about how smart or how good you look. It's about, do you understand and do you believe? Let's get into a classic in the Proverbs, right? Because the way of understanding is really wanting to learn, right? Like we read in Sirach chapter 33 and Sirach 24, right? Because you really do this for the ones that's seeking to learn or seeking wisdom, right? Wisdom and learning goes hand in hand, right? But this is Proverbs 1, and I'm gonna go straight to the point. Verse 5, it says, a wise man will hear and will increase in learning. That's how we increase in learning, by hearing. You know, that's a smart thing to do. Hearing, listening. You know, it says, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel, right? So really, when you come in this faith, don't just hop to so many teachers, right? Because this is another thing. You know, I think I'm going to read that in the NLT too, if I'm not mistaken. Should I read it in the NLT? No, I'm not going to read that in the NLT. I'll read in the KJV. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. It says, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, right? But then you go to 1 John chapter 4, 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, it says, beloved, believe not every spirit. So every man and woman have a spirit within themselves, right? So don't believe every spirit. Why would he say this, right? But try the spirit whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out of the world. This is why you shouldn't be watching too many teachers. That's why it's amazing how the Lord ordered a house. Because when a woman get a husband, she has to follow what her husband teach. That's why, hey, you definitely feel bad for a woman that get a man that's not of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Guess what? A wicked woman is given to a portion of a wicked man. But what if that woman is with a man that don't believe, but he still want to deal with her, but she believe in Yahawah Wa Yahawashi? You know, that is a sticky situation. And it might come to a situation where the husband say, hey, yo, you watch who you watching, because I'm not going to teach you. I don't care for that. That you just got a direction that your husband said is okay. And all you do is just listen, right? Romans, what is it? Romans 10 and 17. Faith come by hearing the word. The number one thing you do is just hear the word, and then you apply it in yourself, being a better wife, being a better mother, being a better listener, comforting your husband, and then believing in these prophecies so that you can be a cater and a nourisher to leading your family to the right direction behind your husband to the best of your ability, even praying to the Lord, because I know that can be hard, right? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're not having your ears open to every itching teacher. And a lot of people, yes, they mixed up and confused of why is it this congregation, that congregation? Because the Lord did that, right? Because the Lord been sifting, because he wants true believers. He wants people that's sincere. Not people in this thing about views, likes, money, right? How fresh they is, right? You can be fresh if you want, right? You can have people that like you. You can enjoy yourself on this side. But to being a follower of the Lord, we're gonna come more lowly. You know, everybody's different in this thing. You know, St. John chapter, no, not St. John, Luke chapter 9. Again, the classic in the gospel, Luke chapter 9, verse 23. It says, and he saith unto them all, if any man if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me, right? You got to be humble. You got to be lowly. And picking up your cross, you got to go watch the Passion of Christ, but look at it in the lens that you have now. Don't look at the person as a color. Just know that this is Yahawah. Or go look at the movie The Color of the Cross. Know that that cross was heavy, and that cross is the symbol of all Israel, the 2/3 and the elect on this side. He's carrying all your sins. So when you picking up your cross, that's you're doing the same thing as Yahawah, right? But especially for you men, you're holding the burden just like Moses. He couldn't hold the burden of all Israel. That's why Yahawah had to come. But did he still not hold that burden, dealing with their problems? Every time we're teaching and edifying the sheep, it's so many sheep that don't understand what's going on, right? Hey, that brings us to what I was going to bring out earlier, and I'll read it in the KJV and the NLT. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1 in the KJV. It says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. In the NLT it says, let love be your highest goal. Love is an action and a deed. I mean, a deed is an action. Love is a deed in truth. It says, but you should also desire the spiritual abilities the Spirit gives, especially the ability to prophesy. So who's the first in the nation of Israel to prophesy? Men, right? And when we get in there to figuring out, Salaki, to know what prophesy really means, right? And then we're going to read the other verse that I got in that chapter. Let's see what prophesy mean, right? Prophesy mean to be a prophet. Only a man can be a prophet. A woman is a prophetess. It says, speak forth by divine inspirations. What is it? 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19 to 21. No man was bringing forth his own private interpretation. He was moved, right, by the Rakak Wadash to bring forth these words, to scribe these words, right, to prophesy these words. That is speaking forth by divine inspiration. For the men that's going through these scriptures, lining up, watching brothers break down the scriptures, and then rereading it, that's all by Yahawah Yahawashi. Your life is orchestrated by the Lord. Man's going to the Lord. A man's heart divisive his ways, but the Lord direct his steps, right? It says to predict. Predict what? The foretelling of the future. It says when the idea of foretelling the future events pertaining especially to the kingdom of God, the gospel, right, which a lot of congregations outside of this truth or in this truth, they don't bring up the deliverance of the children of Israel with chariots, or they might not bring up being saved from your enemies and how that view is going to look, where there's going to be multiple deaths on the earth, massacres, how people are going to hide in bunkers. Some people just think Yahawah Hamashiach is just going to come on a rainbow. I'm here, guys. You know, how the kingdom is going to look. Some people don't want to accept if these children is getting saved, we're talking about a kingdom. When we're talking about America's kingdom, who runs that? The Roman kingdom, the Greek kingdom, the Ishmaelites kingdom, when they were all ruling in their kingdom. So now when people are talking about the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahawashi, the 12, and then the 144,000 and the rest of the Israelites, people get a funny feeling. The kingdom is the kingdom, regardless if you accept it or not, right? It says another thing going into prophecy, right, or to prophesy, is to utter forth, to declare a thing which can only be known by divine revelation. Revelation means to reveal. right? It says to break forth under sudden impulse and lawfully discourse or praise of the divine counsels under like prompting or to teach, to reprove, admonish, right? Another one to exercise the prophetic office. And how do we exercise the prophetic office? By foretelling the events. It's you don't see women bringing forth the scriptures of the events. They might have a dream, which is totally fine, which we see that the Lord says that He's going to do, speak through visions and dreams. But we have these scriptures of future events. That's what prophesying is about, to bring forth prophecies, dark sayings, parables that goes into prophecies. The laws, there's certain laws that goes into prophecies. That's the key and important thing in this truth, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 in verse 3. It says, but he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification, and, exhortation, and comfort, right? Edification goes into build or building. Edification goes into build or building, and exhortation goes into encourage, right? So when you're doing an exhortation, a small little lesson, we're straight to the point, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, however it is an exhortation, edification. You're building somebody up on the faith. You're building somebody up on the understanding of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, regardless if it's prophecies, dark sayings, parables, you're building them up. That's what this consists of. This does not consist of your looks, right? You handle that on your own, right? And this does not consist of how smart you is. Hey, if that's what you want to feel, that's between you and Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. Oh man, brother, I'm smarter than you. Now, when we look at the people of the world, yes, we smarter than you. But the Lord can take, just like He did in Luke, the 19th chapter, and take what you got and give it to somebody else. We got to come in this thing and be humble. Because Yahawashi could have destroyed those Pharisees. He could have destroyed the unbelievers right when He was there. He knew what they was thinking. Right? Let's get something. 1 John chapter 2, verse 6. Right? It says, and he that saith he abideth in Him ought himself also to walk even as He walked. Yahawashi walked humble and He walked lowly. Let's get this Isaiah 53 that I quoted earlier, right? Isaiah 53 verse 2. It says, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of a dry ground, right? That he's rooted out. It says he have no form of comeliness, beauty, right? Beautiness. And when we shall see Him, there is no beauty that we shall desire Him, right? How He look. But you got the Pharisees, Sadducees, the scribes over here wearing the best garment, wearing the best bezel. Yahawashi didn't come like that. He came humble. The man came from His throne and put on flesh and was lower than the angels. That's how we supposed to be on this side. Yes, we love good things. I love good things. But literally, that's why you wanna practice yourself in this faith. The more you grow in this truth, the more you don't like certain things in this side. The more you don't tolerate certain things. Your attitude, like in a righteous way, is a certain way. Sometimes, hey, a brother might tell his wife, look, I'm about to do certain things with you spontaneous. It's not about to be every week. It's not every month. It's really on my time. That's a man really taking control. But really, it really is the Rakak Wadash. Because you got to think, the less knowledge you have or understanding in these scriptures, the more you're enjoying. I was that guy. Even in the beginning, I was so lukewarm, you couldn't even feel the warmth, Still doing this, drinking every day, but I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Trying to get in the studio, this and that. Still smoking in the beginning still. You know what I'm saying? And thinking I'm doing something. As soon as camp come, I'm about to hurry up and get precepts. That is a lazy mother sucker. And even after 6, 7, 8 years of being in this, I'm still growing. right? I'm still growing. I'm nowhere near what I was. The man, four years. The man, 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But just because that doesn't mean I gotta stop. That doesn't mean there's no more elevation. You gotta keep on growing to please Yahawah Yahawashi. Let me get this. I'll get it because my tablet right here. So I'll get it in here. What is it? In the G&T. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. In the KJV it says, study to show thyself approved. You know, I'm gonna read this in the G&T. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15 in the G&T. It says, do your best to win full approval in God's sight as a worker who is not ashamed of his work, one who correctly teaches the message of God's truth. First and foremost, when we're always teaching, we're teaching to the elect men, because you got to rightly divide this truth, right? And this is your work, you know? And every time when you work, you're putting another brick within yourself. Not even though we're trying to study a lesson, you're reading a chapter, through the Spirit, other things is happening. And when you apply it in your life, eventually things in this world fade. Some of the conversations you have with certain family members, now it's different for other men. Now for me, I just know, for me, I don't tolerate certain things. Not in a bad way, it's just, I'm not about to have mad conversation about some freaking football sport. And not one time we have a conversation about Yahawah Yahawashi. You go to church and something, you can send me a text message. You see this, and then I respond just with a precept, and you just stuck, and you don't even say nothing to me. You know, my mind, I'm not tolerating a whole worldly conversation, a whole worldly fiesta. But when it comes to Yahawah Yahawashi, you don't care. You know, it comes, that's men, that's women, that's auntie, mama, doesn't matter who it is, right? And so even more, for all Israel, everybody has a different shoe. Everybody has a different shoe size. Everybody has a different body, a cocoon that the Lord have given you. So everybody's different. But at the end of the day, you have to understand even more. The Lord didn't put you in this because of your looks. The Lord didn't put you in this thing because of your smarts, right? Let's just go to what Yahawah said when he was speaking to the disciples. Even more why this is directed towards men, but even for you women, right? This is St. John chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Now, just make a, for the sisters, the Lord might allow you to be fruit with having children, and you're able to teach them Yahawah Yahawashi. There you go. You should be motivated that you even have children in this thing, or a sister, or somebody that you can walk with in this thing. But literally to you men, the Lord have chosen you, man, to be his servants. The Lord have chosen you to be a man. And I always think of that, like, the Lord didn't choose me to be a woman. He chose me to be a man. He chose you women to be a woman, And even more, the Lord chose us to be an Israelite, You could have woke up today and, dang, I'm an Edomite, or you're an Elamite, or you're an Ishmaelite, or you're a Moabite. It's all Yahawah Yahawashi. That's why we got to give him thanks, give him praise, because being smart and looking good, that shit ain't getting you in no damn kingdom. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that nowhere, right? Because the one verse that I quoted earlier, Wisdom of Solomon, actually, you can read that for yourself, where Solomon said, without thy wisdom, we are regarded as nothing. So without the wisdom of Yahawah Yahawashi, you are regarded as nothing, man. That's why we need Yahawah Yahawashi. We need him. Don't a lot of y'all even say, man, we need Yahawashi to come get us now. If you so smart, why won't you get us out? You can't. That's why all that just goes down the toilet, right? Back to Proverbs 1 and 7, it says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So that's the beginning of knowledge, not your looks or how smart you is. The fear of the Lord, right? Verse 8, it says, my son, hear the instructions of thy father. Forsake not my law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head and change about thy neck. Even more, didn't the Lord give us law, statutes, and commandments that we were supposed to honor? That's how you know your looks and how smart you is ain't gonna get you in the kingdom. You know, this is not gonna get you to have people to like hearing you, right? I don't want you just like hearing me. What the hell? No, I want you to listen to get edified, right? To get encouraged, right? To be thinking and meditating like, yo, the kingdom is coming soon. You seen that lesson that brother brought up about World War III, about bombs? I don't want to get no bomb. I want to get beamed up. I want you to get encouraged. I want you to be edified where you're built up to endure and last in this thing, right? Let's get that in Matthew 24, because he tells us, you know, those that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. He didn't say those that look good. That some of these good looking women is gonna be butthurt when Jacob trouble come, and some of you brothers might have a 4, might have a 6 or a 7 little thing, but because she fully is in Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, she look better than one of these baddies. When she get a glorified body, she gonna look way better than a BBL woman or any celebrity on this side, right? Matthew 24, verse 13. It says, but he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. The ones that endure, not the ones that look good, not the ones that's I'm the smartest, I'm the most smartest of the world. Nigga, the Yahawah Wa Yahawashi don't care for that. Do you believe, man? Right? Why would he say faith come by hearing the word? Right? He didn't say faith come by how good you look or how smart you are. The Lord is not caring for that. Right? Let's get this prophecy. Revelations 11:11 that I was bringing out for the past few weeks, few months, right? How did they get this breath of life? Because they look good or because they were smart? No, because the falling away was fulfilled for that appointed time, and the Lord was doing the Ezekiel 37, bringing forth those bones back into life, like Yahawashi spoke life of Lazarus waking up, and he woke up and walked out the tomb. We're walking out that dead mindset. Revelations 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, which is 350 years, the spirit of life from God, that same spirit of life that was given to Adam, from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. This is not talk about the whole world, because when you go into the Bible, it's a history book. It just don't start with Matthew chapter 1. It's a hit. Why would it have Genesis? Why would it have other nations? Right? Now, we all come from Adam. We're all we're in the image of the Lord. Hey, that sounds cool and dandy with a cracker on the side. But at the end of the day, why would the Lord break down nations at way after Adam? You still stuck on Adam. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10. When you go to, what is it, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, the Lord said there's no done away of the people before this time and before that time. So all those nations is back on the earth. So who is he talking about? When we go up to verse 10, it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them. Talking about the nations. And make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Who is he talking about? These two prophets. This is talking about the southern and northern kingdom, because the prophets only come out of the nation of Israel, no other nation. That's another jinky dinky, right? When you go up to the top, Revelation chapter 11, verse 3. It says, and I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, And they shall prophesy 1,263 days, clothed in sackcloth. Only prophets was wearing sackcloth. But when you precept this with Deuteronomy 7:17-2, didn't he say have two more witness? Even Yahawah brought that up, right? Especially when a brother trespass you, you go to one brother, then you get another brother to be a witness, and if it's not settled, you get the church, right? But when it's going into a witness, it is talking about the prophets. Where does the prophets consist? The children of Israel. But wasn't Israel broken into two kingdoms? The southern and northern kingdom. Those are the two witnesses. Those are the two prophets, right? But at the end of the day, this is not about how beautiful you look. You save that beauty for a man getting a wife. You save how good you look as being a brother and you about to get your wife. That's where the looks come in. Sis, hey, you keep that with you. Oh man, my husband look good. Oh man, my wife fine, or my wife is cold. Ooh, delicious. But when it comes to this faith, it is not about your looks. It is not about how smart you is. It is about Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, because it's all him, man. You know, he created all this, not us. You know, this is why he deserves all the praise and all the glory. Let's get another one. Let's get this. This is a classic about Jeremiah as a young man. Jeremiah chapter 1 and going to verse 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So the Lord know you before you come out that womb. The Lord know you before you get in the womb. That's why when you come out, you're a man. You come out, you're a woman, because the Lord already knew who you was in the spirit. Hey, if you're not getting this truth, it's because the Lord already knew in your heart before you even got in the womb. While you was swimming around in your dad McNuggets, he already knew in the spirit world what spirit was going to come out that man's McNuggets and go into a belly of a woman and then form that person. You're going to be a monstrous child, or you're going to come back to this light. Who's going to get that breath of light? The ones that the Lord have picked to come in the light. The ones that don't come into this light is still in darkness. The Lord chose that. That's how you know your beauty don't freaking matter, man. This Isaiah 60 in verse 2, just to show you this darkness. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahawah shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right? That darkness is the confusion and madness that many Israelites, many black, Latino, Hispanics, and natives have. But where he said the glory shall be seen upon thee, when you go to verse 1, that glory is this knowledge. This knowledge is seen upon us. Because then the nation even say, like, you know, when we start growing in this wisdom, they're gonna say that we're a wise nation, right? Of course, you know, as a whole, Sexy Red, we're not fully in that grasp yet, but the Lord is making us shine through His knowledge. Let's see if we can get. I believe it's. I think I'm gonna just end in a minute. I don't want to, you know, make it too long for you guys. This is Ephesians chapter 6, in verse 14. It says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Wait, hold on. What is the truth? St. John 17:17. What's the truth? And Yahawah answered and said, no, I meant Luke. No, that's not John. Heck no. St. John 17:17. It says, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So the truth that you're going to girt your loins with is the word. And literally, where do the word really sit where you can be able to understand? Not your stomach. You're going to eat it, devour it, but it goes into your mind. So it's talking about having your loins girt about with the truth, your mind, your heart. This is where your spirit is at. This is where all your thinking is work. Me, this is my right hand. Everything on the left side of my brain is functioning the right side. On the right side, everything is functioning the left. Come on, you don't even got the power to even orchestrate that. Yes, Elon Musk can do all of that, but nothing is compared to Yahawah Ba Hashem Yahawashi. That's why we can't just be in this thing about our looks. We can't be in this thing about our views. Oh, I got 50,000 people. Man, what if 50,000 people on your joint is not even of the elect? The Lord just had you teaching the wicked, the blind lead the blind into a ditch. You might be blind. Do you have it on your heart that you're trying to teach the ones that want to learn? You know, sometimes you're doing 4 videos a day and you're doing it to edify the sheep. Sometimes it hits you, oh man, dang, man. Hey, sometimes you're reading, you want to watch a movie, but then you just got so much into your reading, you marking up your notebook, you marking up your Bible. That's called being sincere for this. But to be seen, hey, look what I'm doing. Hey, look, like some people is just doing videos just to be seen. I'm about to go pull up these brothers. I'm about to record just showing that I'm greeting them. And, oh man, that's a mighty brother. Man, that brother is better than all these other brothers. Where's that being edified at? They being edified just by seeing brotherly love. We see that in the scriptures. But the Lord says that he loved 3 things: the unity of brothers. So when it comes to this faith, unity means oneness, like-minded, or agreement. If we're not teaching the same thing fully, we're not truly in unity as brothers or sisters. But when you look at a man's household or one congregation, a man's household, when the wife is under the same unity as the husband, hey, what you teach, hey, I accept, I believe, but I do have a problem with this. Can you help me with it? Oh, now I get it. That's unity. When y'all believe in the same thing. In a congregation, you can have, hey man, we're this camp, and y'all agree. But when it comes, I don't agree with that. I see it this way, but I still label with you, brother. That's not unity. We're in this thing to edify the sheep and build up the house of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi so that it can look glorious when he comes back, you know. But the Lord is already orchestrating that through the Spirit, man. So I'm going to just read this, and I'm showing you that the members of the church, of how the Lord ordered it. When we talk about the teachers, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, starting at verse 26. It says, whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and the members in particular. And God have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after the miracles, then gifts of healing, helps the governments, diversities of tongues, right? Are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, but covet earnestly the best gift. Yet show I unto you a more excellent way. When you go to 1 Corinthians 14, the best gift is prophesying, right? Foretelling the future. That's the best gift that we can get, right? Jeremiah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Dan, Habakkuk, Nahum, Malachi, the disciples going into the apostles. They all was prophesying, speaking of future events, man. That's what this number one thing is. You're living in a prophecy right now. The Lord has declared the end since the beginning. You know, it is not about your looks, man. It is not about how smart you is. It is about Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. And if you're not of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi, you're a damn 2/3. You're going to be destroyed on the side. To be of Yahawah Wa Yahawashi is to pursue, to be the elect. But as a man, if you in this position as, you know, one of those, you know, elect, like you're going to be feeding the other elect, the other men, the other women. Guess what? It's brothers that been in this thing for 40, 20 years, and they watching brothers that been in this for 2 years, 5 years, because it's a spirit on them, right? What is that? Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. That's why brothers is listen. Oh man, that was an edifying. You know what? That inspired me to do a lesson. That's the number one thing making the world go around. Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. And the Lord is having it turned upside down with his prophets teaching, man. Man, You know, Lord willing, this is edifying to y'all because it was edifying to me. You know, you got to put Yahawah Wa Yahawashi first in everything you do. Stop jabbing your mouth saying you're doing that and you're really not. Some of us is watching one video a day. Some of us is probably read one chapter. As a man, you gotta, most of you men, not all of y'all, most of y'all is teachers. You know, even if you're not a teacher on the street and you got a wife and you got kids, you still should be dabbling into teaching them too, right? Because you want peace in your house. You want your family to be ready when these prophecies come. Make it make sense. You know, the Lord called us to build this church, and you start with building yourself. You start building by being a light towards somebody else. How many times you went to the store and you ain't telling nobody? You might not have your fringes on, sister. You might just have a dress on, brother. I mean, sister, you might have a dress on, brother. You might not have your friend shirt on. I mean, I wear a garment. Sometimes I might have my friend's shirt or hoodie, but I'm wearing a garment when camp come. You know, I'm wearing a garment. I wear a garment with fringes. So when I go out, people can just recognize me because of my town. Yo, I seen you teaching. Oh, I seen your video. Oh, I seen this. You want to shine your light, you know? And guess what? They might ask you a question. You know, this thing is about bringing people to Yahawah Wa Yahawashi. And I think you should, it's somewhere in First Corinthians. I forgot. I forgot what it was. Paul was saying that, you know, what he was doing is trying to bring everybody to Yahushua, right? I forgot where it was. My mind, I got so many thoughts here and there. But Paul was basically saying he's trying to get all the weak. Actually, yeah, that's in First Corinthians. Yeah, let me get this real quick. Let me get this and then I'm gonna close. This is First Corinthians. I believe it is the ninth chapter. I believe the ninth chapter. I'm gonna get it in NLT, so it's just plain, straight, direct. This is First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 12. First Corinthians chapter 9, verse 12, it says, in the NLT, if you support others who preach to you, shouldn't we have an even greater right to be supported? But we have never used this right. We would rather put up with anything than be an obstacle to the good news about Hamashiach. Don't you realize that those who work in the temple get their meals from the offering brought to the temple, and those who serve at the altar get a share of the sacrificial offering? In the same way, Yahawah Shai ordered that those who preach the good news should be supported by those who benefit from it. Yet I have never used any of this right, and I am not writing this to suggest that I want to start now. In fact, I will rather die than lose my right to boast about preaching without charge. Yet preaching the good news is not something I can boast about. I am compelled by God to do it. How terrible for me if I didn't preach the good news. This man ain't talking about looks. He just said terrible when the KJV said, he said, woe is me if I don't teach the good news, right? Or if I don't teach the gospel. He said, even though I am a free man with no master, I have become a slave to all people to bring many to Hamashiach. Well, what is a minister? A minister is a servant. He just said, I have become a slave because he's a minister, man. He's a servant of servants. That's what this consists of, not your looks and not how smart you is. It says, when I was with the Jews, I lived like a Jew to bring the Jews to Hamashiach, because some Jews didn't believe in Hamashiach. When I was with those who followed the Jewish law, which we have today, and every other kind, they push. We over here, we do the law. We establish the law, but we're about the whole volume of the book, right? It's people that only law, right? So what he said, when I was with those who followed the Jewish law, ain't no Jewish, let's just say the law of Yahawah Shai, to live under that law, even though I am not subject to the law, right? A slave, subjected to the law. I did this so I could bring to a Mashiach those who are under the law. When I am with the Gentiles, which is Israelite pagan Gentiles that's cleaving and walking like the other nations, uh, who do not follow, right, the Israelite law, I too live apart from that law so I can bring them to Hamashiach, right? You try to meet everybody at their level. You try to be a reflection, like he wasn't a sinner or anything. He's trying to be a light on their level. Everybody, some people are weak. Let's see. He says, but I do not ignore the law of God. He just said it. He said, I too live apart from that law so I can bring them to Mashiach, but I do not ignore the law of God. I obey the law of Mashiach. When I am with those who are weak, I share their weakness, because it is some people that's weak in the faith. So he lowered himself in a weak faith, right? He says, for I want to bring the weak to a Mashiach. Yes, I try to find common ground with everyone, doing everything I can to save some. I do everything to spread the good news and share his blessings. Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only the person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadowboxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself may be disqualified, right? This is like when you really come and you start picking up this word and start teaching, man, you got to throw yourself out the window. It's not about you, you know? And when you get a husband, you got to really know now you stepping into that wife lot, especially a mother lot. It's not about you. Literally, what your husband want. And you still get to do certain things. Women let things go over their head, but let the understanding be given to you. You know, you're under your husband in all aspects when it comes to that household. So you're working too. You're trying to make sure that, hey, your husband love you. It's not about, oh, he loves her and he loves her. No, it's about what you as you as a person. Let alone is you lowering yourself down for the sister next to you, is you lowering yourself down for them kids. Let alone if another sister or that sister that is the same example if a woman was here or if a woman wasn't there. Then even more, you supposed to, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, move like you don't got a husband. A man, you supposed to move like you don't got a wife, so that you can still pursue Yahawah Shai with no distractions. Because all these things in this world is to distract you from the main purpose. To look good, or I'm the smartest. Ooh, I got me a co-wife, or I got many wives, or I got me a husband. We'll get distracted with those things. Put Yahawah Shai on the highest pedestal and try to work on it every day to keep them up there. Every day. And every day we work on that, you're shining your light in your house, around your house. And when you walk out your damn house, believe it, own it, and keep your head high. With that, I want to give all praises to Yahawah Bashim Yahushai Bashim Makakwadash. Shalom. Shalom.